Hello, eRank. Oh, that music is like a Pavlovian nonsense, isn't it? We're sitting, for everyone that doesn't know, we're sitting here behind the scenes, just going like, oh, so tired, can't be bothered, and then the music comes on, and we're so conditioned to put on a
We just
happy
start
face,
dancing,
guys.
and we're good to go.
Happy Thursday, and we've got through Cyber Week, for good or for bad. We've got through Cyber Week, guys. So today we want to talk about how you all did, how it went, what you did to do the do. We'll have a look at some of the data of how the other shops have done, how the stats are looking there, and I suppose we probably should start with because everyone's talking about it at this minute in time. Pantone's just released its color of the year. Have
And
you
it
seen
is the most exciting color you have ever seen in your entire life. It will blow your socks off. Was it
Yeah.
cloud something? I wasn't paying attention.
Cloud. Oh, I've got it somewhere. Hang on, I'll pull it up so we can all have a look at this. Now you've sold it wonderfully. What is it called? Cloud Dancer.
Cloud dancer.
Yes.
One of the
So
most
this,
exciting colors there is. That's
I
it.
don't even have to scroll. That's it. That's the color of the year. Oh, yeah. Cloud Dancer.
It's like kind of grayish, beigeish white. Eggshellish. I don't know. It's all
Yeah,
the same to me. It's really bright. If you're on a screen and it's in your face, it's
yeah.
really bright. That's all I
Well,
know.
there's white. There's it. Yeah, it's grayish, beigey. Ugh. I was well. Someone always has positive things to say about these. I haven't seen very much this time yet, but I was joking, and I genuinely think they do a random color picker, and then somebody has to basically write a little story about why that's the zeitgeist of the year or something. So
It's
they were
probably
really
someone was at their grandmother's house this holiday Thanksgiving season, which just passed, and that's the color of their walls because they've been smokers their entire lives.
that could be it. Gallivant, this is exactly. I said, I have dogs. I have a dog. I can't wear that. Yes, there probably will be a lot of white. What was last year was a beige, wasn't it?
Last year was brown.
Yeah, because usually they sort of go a bright color and then a not so bright
Yeah,
color.
the year before the brown, I believe it was a yellow. Like 2 years ago, I'm pretty sure it was yellow.
I'm getting confused because Etsy did butter yellow, didn't they? That was this year. Oh, I'm losing touch now. Mocha Mousse was last year. Yeah, I get confused because I like Etsy's colors better because they pick like purples and things generally. But I always thought like I thought we were still dopamine dressing, and if you're gonna pick non-color, if you're gonna pick non-colors, can we have black, please?
Fair.
Oh, wasn't there? Someone had a kind of like really dark blue last year, the year before. A sort of. I remember that. I don't use the colors, to be honest, unless I like the color. But yeah, to be
And that's
perfect,
why black would just be very convenient.
exactly.
As
We're
Kat
already in
says, white clothing doesn't exist for me. All black all the time. Yep. Same. All black
exactly.
everything.
Yep, black goes with everything, especially more black. Yep. But yeah, basically with these things, yes, you'll see themes around them, and I suppose Nelly White is pretty easy to make into a style thing because every other color is going to pop against it. It just, to me, it's a very it evokes a very minimalist style, which is the opposite of what's been trending lately. You know,
It's true.
we've moved away from all that mid-century modern that it would have worked beautifully in, and now, well, unless things are changing really fast, but everything was going maximalist, and yeah, lots
Now we're
of
back to
color.
empty space, empty blank. minimalist, just nothing there.
Yep.
It's also one of the hardest things to shoot on a white background, so that's always fun.
Yeah. Oh, white balancing. Yes, that's. Yeah, so good luck to all the design people. Maybe that's it. It's trying to get rid of all the non-experts. Yeah.
I am curious what Etsy's color of the year is going to be, if they're going to kind of follow suit with kind of more of a pale or a no tone essentially, or if they're going to go the exact opposite and go with Pam's hair color.
Yay! Well, they've definitely done 2 colors recently, so you could
Yeah.
absolutely do purple and pink. Etsy, yes. Yeah, well, people just have to pick random colors. Oh, that Pam, we'll do her colors.
Kat said Etsy was saying that vintage home decor was a growing market, which doesn't really go with white. That's true.
Yeah.
Because vintage, nothing was white vintage. Everything was like baby blue and pale yellow and all of those fun colors in between. Vintage cars,
Yeah.
you would never see a white vintage car. You saw pink Cadillacs, and it was just beautiful. White
Yeah, we
doesn't go
were
with anything.
so much more fun. And
Yeah.
but it's been the whole dopamine dressing and all that kind of dopamine decorating, I think, has been a thing and stuff. So people wanting color. So, Bryan, are you going to start printing out some off-white stuff? Little
No,
little decor
no.
in off-white? Definitely not.
I'd have to get rid of my shelves of black. It just wouldn't work well.
Yeah. So definitely to have a successful shop, you don't have to copy any of these color trends. You'll see them in like style guides. You'll see them in some social media posts, and we possibly will see some on the catwalk and things. But
Yeah, and usually Target and like the big box stores, they also follow that color trend as well.
yeah, so you'll see it about, but it's like the big fancy designer clothes. This is out there and that happens, but what you buy in the shops is a diluted version of it with the good bits picked out and the fact that it doesn't work left away. So
Exactly.
yes, maybe pops of white, but apart from a very few, I don't think most of us are going to be wearing all white all year. It's just not, it's not practical.
I don't
If you're
even have a
making,
white wall in my apartment. They're all black.
mine aren't black, but they're definitely not white. Yeah. Mine
Brides are
aren't
going to
white.
Irene said brides are going to be so on trend.
True,
There you
true.
go.
Yeah, well, I could see for some kind of bridal decor, but that's
Yep.
always been the
It's
case.
always been white. Yeah, nothing changes in that market.
Yeah.
Except unless they're going with that slightly different white instead of like a bright white. I don't know.
Yeah, it's absolutely worth the effort if you have a bridal store to absolutely dye all your frocks just that slightly off white. Because
That's
we're
slightly,
really
it's
gonna
dusty and it's been here for a very long time white.
Yep.
All right, so we just had Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Exciting.
That we did, yes.
How did everyone fare? Let us know in the comments. I see a couple you've already mentioned. We're going to pull up some stats. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see how everyone did, and we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about it some more.
Yeah. So any questions, but more to the point, let us know how you did. And I suppose we should start it off. And I'm gonna say actually I did my second worst ever. So it wasn't as bad as last year, but yeah, definitely. I will say if I didn't have ads running, my only sales were through ads and past customers. So I'm
Like
gonna have
Etsy ads or offsite ads or like external ads that you were running.
Etsy ads, offsite ads have not worked for me in about a year. I don't know. I'm going to have to dive into all of this. This is the problem is I was much better on my shop when I was really desperate for the sales in the shop. But I'm focusing on so many other things. I forget about my shop, and it does definitely, it requires a bit of love. I mean, when you've
You
got
just
massive
need a
amounts,
flat tire, and then you end up putting more effort into your shop. That's your
that
thing.
that was it. Yep, that's it. it. The amount of work that's needed for me personally, I was always the person that can't finish an assignment until the due by date is like looming right over your head. And I sort of feel a bit like that with my shop. I can't really do anything to like urgently have to do something. So
Fair.
yeah, Kat's saying she got a lot more sales from offsite ads this year as well.
Which is what
Yeah.
I was going to mention too. We've also seen a much larger compared to last year, although the year before was better than this year. Last year there was a huge not trend, but there was a huge push by Temu and Shein with offsite ads. So those like on external ads on Google, on Facebook, everywhere, and that took up a lot of the ad space. And this year they've scaled back quite a bit. So Etsy's jumped in to fill those spaces, and so a lot of people are seeing their offsite ads numbers just skyrocket,
Yeah.
which is a pro or a con depending on how you feel about offsite ads.
It's a bit of a problem because Etsy's clearly getting these ads cheaper, so they're pushing them further.
Yeah.
However, you don't get it any cheaper. Yeah. But definitely, I was thinking that myself. I was like, well, if Shein and Temu, they were hitting hard the offsite ads last year, they won't be advertising so hard. Although I have heard from several people that, is it Temu? I think it's Temu, have been messaging people in the US asking them if they want to open a shop
Yeah.
because it's the same kind of business as Etsy, really. For all we have a go, it's independent sellers, so they're looking for basically the way around the tariffs. Let's have local
Local.
sellers. Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm interested to see where that's going to go because for all people don't like Shein and Temu, they have a really good algorithm. It's definitely as a buyer, they get to know you pretty quickly. So it'd be interesting to see how that works as a seller, actually. Um, so I mean, plenty of people have jumped on like the TikTok shop and stuff. So
Yep.
maybe,
Temu might be worth giving it a go.
yeah. I think as time goes on, people are now expecting to pay a little bit more, and they have a little. I was going to say an expected level of quality, but the thing is now you're seeing like people are making posts about, they've bought something from Etsy, something from Shein, and something from Amazon, and it's all the same thing. Or there's no saying which is going to be the best quality. So people don't have such a bad expectation, or they don't have such a good expectation of Etsy or whatever. But it could. I'm not going to say it will. It could become a different marketplace in the next few years.
Exactly. Gulf Coast Girl was saying, I feel like ads would destroy the rest of my revenue. I got more sales this month than the rest of the year, but I've hardly surpassed 1,000 revenue. I'm down 60%, which was down 50% from last year. I don't want to do ads because my average is $5 to $7 per order. Exactly. The thing is, it's all about figuring out a way to get that ad revenue into, or the ad cost and your ad budget into your prices. So when it comes to offsite ads, every shop's going to be different. In my shop, we get about 1 in 12 sales through offsite ads. The average that Etsy's put out there before was 1 in 10. They haven't updated that since 2 years ago, but as of 2 years ago, it was 1 in 10, which means you only have to build in, if your prices are around the same price, around 1.2%. If you're at the 12% mark, if you're at the 15% tier, then 1.5% into your prices. And that's your prices, your price plus shipping plus everything else. So, because it all counts towards it. So as long as you have as long as you could build that in, it averages out across all of your sales. So kind of look at how many orders are actually being made from offsite ads, just to factor it in, because you might as well add it to your prices, because if you're paying it, you got to pass it on to the customer.
Yeah, Emily, I totally agree there. Offsite ads are cheaper than Google ads because we only pay for items purchased v clicks. I don't mind them. Absolutely. It's the cheapest way you're going to get Etsy ads, Etsy Google ads, and Facebook ads and all of these
Yep.
things. Like, these are all, this is the big boy advertising. Basically, you really need to know what you're doing. So Etsy does make it easier for you. And as Bryan says, it kind of annoys me when people are going, oh no, look how much Etsy's taken away here. Now I get not everyone's aware of the offsite ads and things, so it can be a surprise. But once you know about it, if you factor it as a business expense for your whole shop rather than an expense on that one listing,
Exactly.
then it does make a lot more sense. And if you, how many of us, our margins are hopefully aren't so tight that you can't add 2% to your listing and then you'd still be doing okay. Hopefully we all still can, and to get those Google ads definitely can be a good thing.
Because those
Yeah,
are
I'd love.
also sales that you potentially might not have made. If you haven't factored into your prices, then it's potential that you're losing money, and then that's not a good sale. But it's a sale that you might not have made. And once you get that customer, if you can market to them and turn them into a customer for life, as I thought I saw someone say that. Michelle said,
Yeah,
nope, Michelle didn't say it. Somebody
I,
said,
yeah,
um,
I got it.
oh, Irene said, and if they become repeat customers, that's a huge win. Exactly. We run about 30% of our offsite ad. Like I track our offsite ads separately than what Etsy gives us, and about 30%, just over 30%, have made at least one further purchase within the last year that was outside of the offsite ad 30-day window. So, well, well, we did have to pay for that first sale. We've now made further sales from them, and those are at full price.
It's
So
definitely worth it.
exactly.
And I'll tell you, like years ago, in one of the businesses I was in, we used to work with the Yellow Pages adverts, the directory. And just as that was moving into online as well, so we were paying for the directory and we were paying for the online directory and stuff. And the marketing manager there was talking to us about prices and things, and how they were pricing it was the price for us to get the ad there, like they wasn't 15%. They were expecting for it to take up a whole, like it was a driving school, so they were expecting it to take up the whole budget of what that one customer would pay, basically, because the idea was you're getting your name out there, the brand recognition, the fact that they could bring in future other customers and things. So a good a good return for us was considered, like, yeah, we were going to get one back for everything everything we paid in ads we would get back in a sale, basically. So
Yep.
to be
Customer acquisition
15%.
cost is not cheap.
Yep. So 15% is definitely, if you're not expecting it, it's a big nasty surprise, but hopefully we've given you a heads up. Look into it. It's definitely, it can be worth it. If your very first sale on Etsy comes from offsite ads, I get that that's a shock and a bit of a hurt, but after that, yeah.
Once you understand they're there and you understand how they work, then you can either capitalize on them, or Michelle had asked, are offsite ads mandatory if shops make more than 10,000 per year? If you have not made $10,000 in within a year, then you can turn off the ads. Once you cross that limit, unfortunately, you are permanently in there, but you're paying the smaller rate unless you're in the EU. And then you could actually message Etsy and have yourself removed from the offsite ad program because of the consumer protection laws or whatever the laws are out there that make it so that that's possible.
Yeah, there was a fun load of arguments. I think it was like about a year or two ago where people were fighting for that right. But it can be it can be done. But yeah, if you've got a new shop and you haven't looked into this, it's worth looking into because you are opted in or automatically. So that this is where I get, you might not be aware of it and it might be a bit of a surprise, but now you're aware of it. And yes, as soon as you hit that 10,000 sales in 1 year, then you only pay 12%, but you can't switch it off.
Yeah. And Michelle said she pays the 12% fee, so you are mandatorily in the program. Unfortunately, you cannot get out of it unless you are in the EU.
Yes, but probably it is worth it.
Well, to some people it is, like Chamikaze, I probably butchered that, sorry, said 12 out of 379 orders in the last 30 days were from offsite ads. So that's 0.3%.
Yeah.
Nope. Wow,
No,
I did really bad math.
no, bad maths.
3%.
3%. Yeah,
But
3%.
that's basically 1 in every 3 orders. Forget, I'm so tired. That's 1 in every 30 orders is from offsite ads. So you only have to factor in a small fraction for it to completely offset the offsite ad fees.
Yeah. And the difference with these and Etsy ads, chances are with offsite ads, these are people who haven't heard of you before. There's going to be some overlap. Sometimes you'll get seen by people who have, but in general, it's not like people are on Etsy searching and your listings are popping up underneath your own ads anyway. Not saying that Etsy ads are a bad thing, but on like offsite ads, that's a completely different place that you have no way of showing up for, really. I mean, most of us are not ranking on Google. You're not showing up on Facebook and things. So these are a way to really get shown. I've seen Kat, an interesting question there. Does Chatty interact with ads on Google? Would it help Chatty when it comes to brand authority? I don't believe they're specifically looking at ads, and I don't think they've been they can't have been trained on ads, but things like ChatGPT, they are able to look at the internet now. You can get their agents that can actually crawl web pages and things for you. So it's a possibility, but no, I wouldn't say that ads particularly help you with brand authority due to Chatty. That would be such a small thing. And to be perfectly honest, from a competitive type thing, if you're paying Google, Chatty doesn't want to use that data to help itself, kind of.
Emily said, if Bryan can't math, then we're all in trouble. I didn't mention we had a very good Black Friday, Cyber Monday. As of Tuesday morning, we put our shop on vacation mode just because we were completely overrun with orders. So we're currently on vacation mode. Do not, as I said before, as we were leading into the holidays, if you do see your sales getting to that point where you are hitting your capacity, do not fear using vacation mode. That's what it's for, because you don't want to run behind. You don't want to upset customers. But that's also meant that we've been getting 2 hours of sleep a night trying to get these orders out. And yeah, so I'm a little bit tired. So my math skills might be a little bit slow, but they're still there. They're still there.
Yeah, it's not the best time of the year if you're wanting brain power, but definitely, yeah, my shop's on vacation as well. Definitely, if you need that, it's much better to take the break than it is to have angry customers. So yeah,
exactly.
Oh, Gulf Coast girl. 2 out of my 3 shops have been on vacation mode since December the 6th last year.
We're
wow.
still trying to catch her from last year. That must have been a great Cyber Weekend sale.
Yeah.
When your shop is on, just to throw out the facts there, when your shop is on vacation for that long, you will notice that it is slow to crawl back into the rankings. If you're just on vacation mode for a couple weeks here and there, you'll notice basically nothing, because your competitors haven't been able to claw above you yet, and you haven't dropped far enough because the data is still pretty recent.
Yeah, I know the years when I went vacation mode for the whole of December, when I'd had a really good November, I came back in January, absolutely great, doing great. I know this year I won't come back in January being great, but this is just where If you're wanting to claw back up the rankings, you use the social media you had, you use your past followers, your mailing list, everything just to get some extra sales back in. But while we're talking about Cyber Week, Adobe have just released their latest predictions. They always talk about the Cyber Week sales and everything, so I was surprised that they managed to get them out so quickly. So where they're at already is forecasting that this holiday season is going to be better than last year. And you can see, I'm not going to say it's not by much. And this Cyber Monday, this is just forecasted based on the numbers that are coming in. It's not written in stone yet, but I'd say like Thanksgiving was about the same. Black Friday a bit better, Cyber Monday a bit better is what they're believing so far.
Small Business Saturday did not do great.
Nope, definitely not.
Also, they're basing it on the actual finances. They're basing it on the dollar amount that was spent, which is a little bit skewed, seeing how most things have tariffs when you enter the U.S. So you gain that 30% off the bat just based on the amount that was spent. If people bought the exact same things last year and then they did that this year, they've now spent 30% more, or whatever the percent is from the country that they're ordering from.
Yep. And also, I mean, that's not all. There's the revenue by day. You can see those two. But with looking at the categories, electronics, like most of us are not selling electronics, but the biggest amount of the money is gone on electronics.
Yeah.
So let's
then apparel, and that could be a lot of the print on demand people.
That's very true. Yeah. So it does slightly better. What's that? 46.6 billion last year and 47.6 billion this year. So it is up a bit, and 55.3 to 57.5. So electronics, they are reckoning, is up a bit more. I did buy a computer on Black Friday, actually. So yay.
If that computer cost $2 billion, you're the reason that this year was $2 billion better.
Well, I'm not in the US either, but it felt expensive, but I've not bought a $2 billion computer. I promise you that. But yeah, always nice to see those things. So they're forecasting up a bit, but that doesn't mean that we're seeing it. It doesn't mean
experience in the physical realm was not that. A lot of people that were going to markets or going to wait in line at Best Buy or wherever for their products, most people, and the news was reporting that the lineups just weren't there this year.
Yeah.
Some of that has to do with the fact that Black Friday has become Black Friday week.
Month. It's a month, isn't it? Yeah.
So it's not necessarily on that one day. Door crashers weren't as big as they've been in previous years. So there's a few reasons for that. But if the numbers are up, the numbers are up. But who is seeing that? Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's never in the physical bricks and mortar store. It's never been huge over in the UK. We just sort of steal a bit of it because it's fun. Our thing was always the day after Christmas, Boxing Day was our big sales. Yeah. But Black Friday, I actually escaped off work a bit early. Don't tell Anthony. I left work a bit early to go and look at the computers and things. So I went to a retail park, and then I just realized I went to a retail park not just on a Friday, but on Black Friday. And then I walked in, there was nobody there. The assistants were bored. I managed to drive out of the place, no traffic jams. Like, I shouldn't be doing that on a Friday, let alone a Black Friday. So yeah, wasn't great. I will say though, all you guys were saying that, like, craft fairs and everything were doing terrible. On Sunday, I went to 2 craft fairs down where my mum lives, and they were fantastic. They were really good, really busy, lots of great stuff. We actually, random aside, my mum just bought a house and she's got some apple trees in it, and we've run out of things to do with apples. And we found that in the town she's in, there's a local cider maker that will take away the apples and bring you cider back. So that sounds really good. So we're going to have fun. And that's the UK version of cider, not the American version of cider. It has booze in it. Yeah. I always forget when I say that.
Yeah, exactly, because there's the spike side. Yeah. Emily was saying in the US, there was also an anti-Black Friday shopping movement. Yes, and a lot of that was caused because a lot of retail stores raised their price just to drop it by 40% or whatever. And
which is completely illegal.
Yes. Unless they have it at that higher price for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And then it's fine. And Gulf Coast Girl said, my son needed a new computer for Christmas. And she went to go get one, but their sales were completely terrible this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are gone out of the days of like 90% off for the first 3 customers and that type of thing. That just doesn't happen anymore, unfortunately. But at the same time, that's why that whole movement is there as well, the anti-Black Friday, because if a retailer can mark something down 90%, then they've been ripping you off for the rest of the year.
Exactly. It was a way to get rid of stuff.
Yeah. Which is why
I liked it. Yeah. Boxing Day made more sense to me. It's like, okay, you finished. Here's the Christmas stuff that you couldn't sell. Oh, I'm sorry, I've spoiled Anna's world. American cider doesn't have booze in it.
Well, because we have like just regular apple cider, that's just like regular apple juice, but it's like
cloudy apple juice.
Yeah. But then there's cider, like we have Strongbow, and we have all of the ciders that you guys have as well. We in Canada, at least, we call, if someone said, I'm going to get a cider, they mean the boozy kind.
Yeah. It was a shock for me with actually US people when they were talking about cider, and it's basically just cloudy apple juice.
It depends. If you're in a southern state, it's less likely. If you're in a northern state, it's more likely that they mean just the cloudy apple juice. But it's so good. You heat it up, put some cinnamon in there. Oh, great on a snowy day.
Well, the boozy stuff's great on a snowy day too. So.
Fair.
Oh yeah, I should pull up some more stats. We did promise data and we have it. So again, here is our graphs of what has happened. So this is Etsy through the time, and definitely we looked at it last week and it was down here, and it's definitely still been on the upward scoop. It's been on the upward scoop. And here is Amazon. That nice. It's now, last week they were all a smiley face. Now they're a lopsided smiley face. And this is eBay. So,
which is crazy because eBay is the only one that has not recovered at the same level that Etsy and Amazon did.
Absolutely. Yeah, I hadn't actually looked at that, so that's interesting for sure.
Yeah, before the August drop, because there was that huge, just kind of downward slope that happened in August, and the other ones came up mid-October. They started to rise, they started to plateau, and then raise up in November. But eBay did not hit those levels. It's very weird.
Yeah, I suppose I only use eBay for very specific reasons now. Drat you, Amazon Prime, it works too well. Yeah, I hate this because I say as like Etsy buyers, oh, you shouldn't be expecting next day delivery and stuff, and then I use Amazon because I can't be bothered waiting for eBay.
Fair.
I am the problem.
I mean, to be fair, Amazon is also businesses the way that Etsy is. It's not like Amazon does have their line of products, but for the most part, you're buying from somebody. So it's still a lot of the time small businesses that you're dealing with.
Yep, a lot of the time. Yeah.
Yep.
Not always. Amazon is taking over a lot of that now, but yeah.
True.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, people. Yeah, how many of you here sell on eBay? I know there used to be quite a few. I tried for a couple of years, but I just didn't like it. It just, my mum's done. What my mum did great with was selling off her craft supplies on eBay.
Yeah.
That's really good for that. And bidding wars, she made more than she purchased things for. And my mum is a craft hoarder, like many people here. She just expands and keeps buying things, so to have somewhere to sell it is very cool.
No, we did not do great on eBay this year. Amazon Handmade, we did really well, and then Etsy, of course, amazing. But eBay was on the lower end for some reason.
Yeah, wonder how eBay's doing. I don't follow it as much now. I think they're not doing so great overall. So
Well, Susan said my eBay sales are low compared to Etsy, and she sells vintage, which I always thought eBay is where you go because it's like
yeah,
that's the vibe that's over there. Even though Etsy does have vintage, eBay has always been known as the place to get that used or vintage item, or at least that's what many people use it for. And it's surprising to see that it's down for that reason, for that niche as well.
agree. Yeah, I thought that if I'm looking for vintage stuff, generally that's where I go. So that is interesting. Yeah.
Except that it's completely flipped with I can't read right now. with a Brocco Lavba says my antiques sell much better on eBay than Etsy now. Last year Etsy was better. So they've had to flip the other way.
That that's unfortunately the thing with any of this is we can't tell how something's going by our own shops because there's a lot of moving parts into whether you're doing well or not. Um,
Exactly.
but yeah,
Um,
people saying
JCB
I'm going
says
to
also
open.
my eBay has been dead for the entire year, but then Gallivant Collective says my eBay has been steady. I sell vintage mostly.
Well, I'm glad eBay's going good for some people. I would feel bad if, like, I'd feel sad if eBay went away. It's sort of
It's been
the
around since like early 2000s. That's when I started buying on there, but I think it was a couple years before that, and it's always just been there.
exactly, yeah.
It's like if Google went away. It's always just been there.
Oh, it's sarcasmic. I'd like to try Amazon Handmade, but the hoops you have to go through to sign in and get started sound also awful. But I also just hate Amazon by principle. I know, I
It
know.
is worth it because you do show up in regular Amazon searches as well, not just searches in the handmade category. So it is worth it just to try, dip your toe in. You have to jump through a bunch of hoops. You have to verify lots of different things. You have to like create your brand. There's a lot of things that you have to do, but it can be worth it for many sellers.
Yeah.
Yet one thing that you do have to remember is you have to have white backgrounds. It used to be that with Amazon Handmade, you did not. They could be your lifestyle shots. They could be anything. This past year, they changed it. It was in the summer. They changed it, sent out emails, and now there's actually warnings on all your listings that don't have white backgrounds. They now require those white backgrounds. Otherwise, they will be pushing your listings down in search results.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, yeah, Amazon really want to control the look of their site, which
Yeah.
is fair enough. Yeah, I never
Which is
thought of
fine,
that.
and they used to also keep it almost separate, but now it's basically becoming the same thing. They're kind of melding the handmade into regular Amazon, so they want those like white background shots. It's very
Yeah, I
frustrating
don't
because
think
none of my
they.
photos do.
Yeah, they didn't explain very well to the buyers about Amazon Handmade. As a buyer, I didn't
Yeah,
know about it. I don't see how to shop for it or anything. So, yeah. And to be honest, even if I did, I don't click any of the filters. I just type what I want. I'm an idiot shopper. I just give me the thing I want. And yeah,
Golf
if it
Coach Girl
doesn't
says, "I
show,
bet eBay's doing bad because of shipping costs." I am not a fan of marketplaces that do not let you set your own shipping prices. You know what it costs to ship, they don't know, and so you have to start working things into the prices and all the math that gets involved in that. It's very frustrating.
Oh, is there something tricky going on with it? I haven't sold with them for years now.
Yeah. Depending on the category is how much you can charge for shipping.
Oh, interesting.
That might not be for auctions. That's just for like the because now eBay has almost become a marketplace instead of just an auction site. I remember
Yeah.
back in the day when eBay was big, they were just an auction site, and there was buy it now buttons that they added later. But when it was just an auction site, they did amazing. But then they became a marketplace where you have your listings up permanently, and that kind of took away some of the fun of eBay. And
And
yeah,
I remember the number of times you'd be out for dinner with friends or something, the phone would go, it's like, I've got an auction to check the end of.
I
You'd
have to
have to
snipe it right at the end. Yeah.
exactly.
And there was software to actually help you snipe. It was a whole thing.
Oh, I never had that. We just always checked it at the last minute. And that made it exciting when you were selling as well. It's like 10 people watching. Put some money on it, you swines. Right, should we snoop on some of the how people have done on
Yes.
Etsy? Yes, I'm forgetting what we're talking about. Yeah. So just a quick look, we can go and have. This is eRank. It is the top sellers. And I just wanted to look at how the top sellers have done compared to last year. And actually, I don't think it's too bad. So if you're new to eRank, so this is top sellers on Etsy, and this darker color bit is showing you the past month just happened. So you can see how many they've sold in the month. 44,000 sales in a month is just ridiculous. That's not fair. Just give me some of them.
Exactly.
That's not fair. So 43,000, then I can come back and I can look at last November, which was 44. So they're doing about the same. Beat Boat, what were they at? 11,000 out of 13. They're doing a bit better. I don't know. Mod Party was a wedding shop, but it looks like they're taking a break just now or slowing down.
Yeah.
Planner Kate, November was 4, so they're slightly down, but still doing okay. And these ones, Silver Rain Silver, are doing amazing. No, down a tiny bit, but still doing amazing. They're just
They
down the
don't
road.
do much throughout the year.
They don't do much.
Well, like in comparison to the holidays, they like skyrocket and then they kind of plateau throughout the rest of the year.
They plateau to amazing.
Yeah.
It just comparatively, because I think their worst month is still 32,000 sales
that's
in a
it?
month.
They're
Yeah,
barely on the market.
it's absolutely crazy. Yeah. And we can even nosy. Now this is, what was I going to look at? Yeah, we can nosy it yesterday, but unfortunately, we can't see to Black Friday or anything because we would have had to have looked the day after. But we can look at who did the best yesterday to get an idea of some shops that have had a really cool time.
Can you add those shops? Well, you have those top shops in your competitor sales chart.
I
so
do.
you can actually go there and
the
see Black
4.0.
Friday because we're not there yet.
Yeah. Should we go and do that? Okay, this is my competitor sales. I follow random people like when I'm just demonstrating things. So if you're here, it doesn't mean I'm snooping you. I use this just mainly for demonstration purposes. So I sometimes grab shops. So it doesn't mean anything. But yeah, so we can look at. Yeah, we've got Black Friday. Wow, we've got Black Friday. So who sold the most out of all the people I'm tracking on Black Friday? It was Silver Rain Silver. They beat out Caitlin Minimalist by nearly 900 sales. Nearly 5,000 sales on a single day. And you're complaining, Bryan.
I mean, they have full teams at this point. At least I would hope so.
Think so, yes. And then, yeah, so Cyber Monday was actually lower for them, a little bit higher for Caitlin. Robert, I don't know who this is, but they're doing well too. A little bit lower. Yeah, so it's not, we used to expect Black Friday would be lower because everyone was outside and Cyber Monday would be good, but that really doesn't seem to be the case. Not quite so crazily as it used to be. But I would say that some of the big shops that do well still doing well. But that that just tells us there are sales happening on Etsy. It doesn't tell us that the problem with successful shops, it's not a problem for them, but the problem is the better they're doing, and if they keep up with the sales and they keep everything happy with Etsy, Etsy's going to push them more because they're a good bet. So while they're there and still selling, they're going to be featured in all the important places. And the crumbs don't necessarily, if there's less buyers about, there'll be less crumbs trickle down, whereas these guys still might make big sales. On really good years like 2020, where suddenly everything absolutely blew up, what you would find happening is the really big guys wouldn't be able to cope. So they would have to put their shops on vacation, and then the next level of guys would get some sales. So you would find much more trickle down when there's much more sales happening.
Exactly.
So,
Without getting into anything negative, Sarcasmic says, "LOL, they're handmade jewelry," referring to Caitlin Minimalist, and I assume Mod Party too. I'm not sure what they do, or Silver or whatever was on top there. Most of their stuff is still handmade. It's just handmade by teams of people now instead of just an individual that's doing it. Some of them are more almost like a print on demand kind of situation.
which is allowed on Etsy so long as you follow the rules. And I know we don't necessarily, it's not to the spirit that we signed up to Etsy with in the first place, but the Silver Rain Silver, I looked into them because I wanted to see their workshop, and they definitely were making things from scratch, but it was like making a mold of multiple jewelry items that you pour silver into. So they definitely, they have a workshop and a team, and I think they must be outsourcing some of it because there's no way anybody's making 5,000 items a day. But
And that's always the question: is where does it go from handmade? Like where's the line? Is it after you have a certain number of employees? If you have a certain amount of dollars, where's the line? As long as someone's hand making it, but then someone is always hand making something. If you get Labubus or something, someone is hand making that. I believe those are made in China, but someone is hand making it. It might not be the seller. So where's the line on that? And it's a very controversial type topic there.
even back in the day when Etsy started, you could actually have mass manufactured things if you designed them.
Yeah.
So myself and my mum did this. We made pins, badges for charity, and made the design. We got in touch with the company. We got them manufactured, so that was allowed. So I'm sure people weren't happy with even that back then, although we did design it and we did take the financial hit to have things marketed. It wasn't print on demand. So it's just got easier to do that.
But with the design by, Sarcasmic was saying they have a manufacturing system down, which I'm not against at all. I have looked at Caitlin Minimalist and it looks like dropship stuff to me. But again, if they designed it, then it's not really dropship. They're just making mass orders probably in China or India or somewhere where it's cheaper to make. So it's not dropship because they're not shipping it from China or India. Irene was saying, as someone who has purchased from her, the packaging is what I was hoping to receive from a number one shop. My packaging is more personal, but Irene had also said that it did come from California, which is where Taylor Minimalist is. So they're actually bringing the stuff in. They're not drop shipping it. They're bulk ordering it and then shipping it out.
Yeah, and I believe she's the one she had a process. Her jewelry's like based on people's handwriting and
Yeah.
things. She's got some of that and stuff. So she came out with some original ideas and things. So she's definitely within the rules of Etsy as far as I can tell, because her head's so far above the parapet that Etsy would definitely notice.
It's
Because
definitely being designed by either her or her team, that kind of thing.
yeah. And I mean, don't think that Etsy loves her because she's making all the sales. If she was breaking the rules, they would love to shut her down, because that would make them look good to say we're shutting down people who aren't following our rules, because it
And they
wouldn't
do. They
hurt.
shut down big shops.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we see it all the time.
Yep.
And by mistake far too often, but
Yeah.
we do see it. And it wouldn't hurt Etsy a fraction if Caitlin Minimalist was gone, and I'm not wishing that on her. She seems to be doing amazing. But if she was gone, it wouldn't hurt Etsy, because if someone wants to go and buy minimalist jewelry, there's 200 more shops that will fill the spaces. Nobody would even notice in search.
Exactly.
If we weren't snooping on eRank, it would probably take months before we even noticed she was gone. But we'd absolutely notice immediately just now, because we're all snooping these tools.
I'm not sure of the answer to this question. I know that Starla has spoke about it. I'm not sure if you know it. Gulf Coast Girl asked earlier. I have an off-topic question. I've been very out of the loop. I have a Bitly link on my main shop announcement and listing descriptions that lead strictly to my email list sign up. I have a QR code image as well. So is this not allowed anymore? It's been a year since I added those, and I can't get an answer from Etsy. Starla mentioned that those are not allowed anymore, that you can't have a QR code in one of your images that point off of Etsy, and that Etsy's cracking down on using Bitly links. I haven't heard anything personally, so I'm not sure. Have you?
There's something in the back of my head, but I don't remember it. I'll see if I can find anything just now. But I think you can't have them on a main image. But I could be wrong there. I don't know. I'll have a look. I'll have a look into it. And we can maybe ask Starla. I don't know if she's listening or she's crashed out tired, because she's been doing live streams every day. Yep, it's Critique Week. So I hope everyone's gone over there and supported her, and if anyone's had any critiques from Starla. But I remember something about QR codes, and Bitly links makes sense, because any shortened links could be taking you to somewhere different. It can be hard to keep an eye on.
And then if that is the case, is that just the Bitly link, or is that also the Etsy.me link that Bitly uses as well? Because those are actually clickable on Etsy, because they only stay within the Etsy framework. So I imagine those are fine still, even if Bitly isn't allowed.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing anything specifically about Bitly. But it would
Starla mentioned earlier in the week about they're not allowed in messages either. But again, I haven't heard anything firsthand, so I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah. See, I could, if Etsy couldn't block. Well, they could block any external links if they wanted to.
Well, they already do. No external link is clickable.
In messages as well. I remember clicking links in messages, I'm sure, but I don't know when that was.
Oh, they might be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because a lot of scammers use like Google Drive links.
Yes, of course. Yes, that's how the scams work. But I could definitely see getting rid of QR codes, because scammers have definitely jumped on that one. Yes.
Brockle says Starla answered that it was not allowed anymore. Emily said they didn't announce it for Bitly. They just started shutting down shops for it. I guess that's like the Amber thing, where they shut down shops for using amber, whether or not the product was made of amber. Just having the word amber there, they were shutting it down without letting anybody know that that was the case.
Yes, a little. They keep talking about there being more transparent about these things. We need to know these things because plenty of people have a legit reason for having Bitly links, and I'm sure you would be absolutely fine if Etsy just said, "This is what we're doing in future. Here's the rules. Stop doing the thing," and you'd be
Exactly.
like, "Okay, I'll stop doing that thing because I understand." But it's this grey area where you're hearing rumors about it because even quite a lot of the time people get shops, I don't know in this case, I didn't see in this case, but people get shops shut down and they've nothing left to do but to
Assume why.
speculate.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I hear that all the time. People will say, "Oh, Etsy shut my shop down because I used a VPN or something," and then you look and you're like, might have been Mickey Mouse, could have been that thing. So
Exactly. Sarcasmic says, does Etsy still have that issue where new shops get blocked? Or is that once in a blue moon experience? They do still shut down new shops, even though they are now charging to open a new shop. There's now the setup fee, which could be anywhere from like $18 to $36. They are still shutting shops down to do their security checks or whatever reason they're doing that. They are still doing that.
yep, out of the blue. That most often happens, like if there's checks to be done, if you've not done the verifications properly or not filled in things, that can happen. So yes, it's a problem. I don't think it's as big a problem as it's been in the past. It definitely doesn't seem to have as many screaming complaints as it did a year or so ago. So
Irene said, will they shut down a new shop if you already have a shop? Yes. That second shop that you're opening, it's treated as a completely separate shop. It does not impact your first shop. So if you start a new shop and that shop gets temporarily suspended for their security checks or whatever, your current shops are not impacted whatsoever. They're treated completely separately except for on your tax forms, and that's it.
yeah, so I was reading that differently. What I was answering, they won't shut you down for opening a new shop.
Yeah.
Like you're
They shut
allowed to
down
have more
that
than,
new shop.
yeah.
Yeah.
They shut down the new shop if there's the reason for it, like
Yeah.
we've said, the verifications and everything else. They won't shut you down for creating a new shop if you already
Exactly.
have one. You're allowed more than one. That was where I was getting confused there.
Anna Cole said, oh, can we not have Google Drive links and messages? They're handy for digitals. You can. And they are clickable as well. Google Links, there's no problem with that. You can't use a link shortener. That's what is potentially the problem. So using Bitly to make that Google Drive link into just like a 10-character thing instead of the whole string of characters, that's where there's an issue, because that Bitly link can link to anything. Because it is a redirector, scammers like to use that because people are more likely to click on that than they are on a link that looks scammy. And so that's why they put a halt to that kind of thing.
Yeah, some of these things are happening because Etsy's trying to protect us. There has been a massive problem since 2020, really, with scammers flooding the site.
Yeah.
Because when Etsy got popular, they realized here's a whole load of people that we can make money off of in nasty ways. Yeah, sarcasmic. Oh, gotcha. I don't have any problems with my current shop, but I make sure to have all my info filled out at sign up. Yeah, that's the thing, is to make sure everything is sorted. If you have more than one shop, just make sure that you don't forget about your other shops. I think there was a thing, was it last year, one of the big guys, and he discovered his shop was shut down because one of his other shops, he had a fee that he'd forgotten to pay or something absolutely stupid. So yes, we all make mistakes.
Yeah. Daniela Robbins says, eRank's reported sales do not accurately reflect Etsy sales. They're considerably higher. If you're referring to the amount of sales that a shop has, like their total sales, that number should be dead accurate because that's given to us directly from Etsy. If you're talking about someone else's listing, those are just estimated sales because we don't actually get that information. That's private information between Etsy and the seller. We actually can't see that information. And so it's based on a whole bunch of algorithmic things. And it's always within 20% of the current sale. That's what we just found out this morning, that most of the time it's within 20%. So if it says 50 sales, then it could be plus or minus 5, kind of, or plus or minus 10. But we just don't have exact accurate measurements of every sale that's happened on Etsy because Etsy does not provide that information. That would be a complete security breach. Imagine if Etsy was sharing your sales data and your revenue data with other companies. They keep that stuff private, and even if we were to get our hands on it, it's completely private, but we do not have it. eRank can see your sales because they're pulling it through the API. If you have your store connected, eRank can show you your sales. That information is not shared with anybody else. And that's the only thing that's not estimated on eRank when it comes to sales. But anyone else's shop and your shop to anybody else is estimated sales based on an algorithm because that's the closest that we can get.
Yeah. If you see something that looks wildly off, message our support staff and let us know, because then Anthony will go in and smack our algorithm around a bit and see if it'll behave itself a little bit better.
Exactly. Gulf Coast Girl says, I can post my actual URL? Yes, you can. To your email list, you can. You cannot post a link to if you are on Shopify or something like that. You can't post a link in your announcement or anywhere else to your shop, but you can post a link to like the full MailChimp or Aweber or whatever link to your mailing list. You could post that anywhere. The only place that you could post a link to any other shop is in your about section. There's a website link that you can put, and that's it.
Yeah. For your email lists, Etsy actually has a whole article about creating and promoting your email list, so you can see that they're not against email lists. They advise you. Well, they don't tell you to do them, but they give advice on how to do them, so they're definitely not against them. Right, guys, I think we did the time, so that is us for this week. Don't forget to check out Starla's. She's got her last critique tomorrow, so check her out. And some of the team will be back next week, so that'll probably be one of our last lives of the year. So we'll have to figure out what we're doing. Might have a party, might get cider. Ooh. We can have all the different types of cider, except this morning for you. Well, just afternoon, isn't it? Yeah. And
don't forget to like, subscribe, do all those types of things. If you're not subscribed to the eRank mailing list, don't forget to subscribe to that, because we have some crazy things coming up that you should all be excited about. You could do that in your settings button, and when you scroll down, you'll see a little checkbox to sign up to the mailing list. Beyond that, we got some really exciting stuff coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. See you all later.
Bye, everyone.
It wasn't easy, no, but with eRank, we're trending now. I dreamed of topping all the charts. I wanted sales to blow up. Remember long nights crafting, no one clicking on my stuff. But I signed up for eRank. Now my shop's a rising star.